What's up, everybody? Welcome back to GameOnia with me, Bill, and over there, Joel.
Over here?
Over there. What up, Joel?
What up, Bill? How the fuck you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty goddamn good, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
Been better, been worse.
How's your week going, man?
My week's going pretty good, pretty interesting. So I kicked off a new podcast series this week. Today actually. So I'm
You
not
cheating on me?
no
You cheating on me?
no
New
dude.
podcast series? You cheating on me?
So shut the fuck up and listen. So
You better fucking put some lipstick on before you fuck me next time.
look, I already have 3 weekly podcasts that I either record or are live.
That's
right?
too much.
Because I do GameOnia with you live. I record the N64 Players and Collectors podcast with Craig and Jordan, and I do the Bill Tendo show with Mike,
Right.
obviously. So it's not really a podcast. It's more of a YouTube series I'm working on.
Okay.
So guys, so basically it's a meet your favorite creator type thing. It's an interview, because if I learned anything from the whole Game Junction nonsense is that I enjoyed doing interviews and I wanted to do so in a more positive manner. So I came up with a concept of basically meet your favorite content creators. So I started contacting content creators I know and recording interviews with them, kind of what do you do and why do you do it? What are your goals?
Right.
Just a very positive thing. And so I went to put the first episode to be released tomorrow at 2 p.m. and somehow it went live immediately. It hasn't got a ton of views right now. I think it's around 60 or so. Hold on, I'm checking right now. 64.
That's not bad.
No, it's been live for about 6 hours. That's it. I expected my first one to get around 100 after a few days.
Right.
And the reception I've got to it is extremely good. The people that have watched it have really enjoyed it, and people were messaging me. They liked the intro that Craig and I put together. My son said it was the cringiest intro he's ever seen in his entire life. Dude, we can watch the intro if you want, because I named it the Good Chair. And the reason I named it the Good Chair is, remember when you was a kid, you would go to your grandpa's house and your grandpa had the good chair that you wasn't allowed to sit in. He had that one really nice recliner in his house.
No, but I know what you're talking about, so keep going.
So
I'm following. I'm with you.
Basically, I'm offering the good chair in my house to my guests to tell me about themselves, because this is more about them than me.
Okay. So
yeah.
Who was your first guest?
RNG Gamer.
RNG Gamer.
Yes.
Did your first episode already premiere? Apparently it did, according to Ryan.
Yeah, today.
Okay, all right. I didn't get it while I was working all day, so I didn't really get a notification of it. So, but yeah, that's all. I'll have to check that out. Everybody else in the chat, definitely check that out. You want to look at Bill Tendo's stuff, check out his new podcast. So, is this something that you're doing live, or it's something that you're recording?
No. It's being recorded.
Okay.
But again, I don't edit videos, right? So the interview is exactly just like anytime I do an interview, it's all the way through. It's
raw
one
dogs.
take. Yeah.
Raw dog style.
Just a fucking raw dog it.
Fucking raw dog. Fucking going in dry.
Yep. Going in dry. Why do I hear a lot? Did you turn on a fan?
No, I didn't turn on a fan.
Oh.
I'm fucking around with my inputs over here.
Jacob Griffin saying I'm boning Dark Cloud 7 because I've been streaming Dark Cloud for the last week every day. Like 2 hours a day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're going at it, right? You're gonna beat that game live, basically, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna 100% all the weapons because that is a lot of grinding, and people will get very bored with that. But I'm gonna 100% all of the villages. Joe lost audio.
Audio still there?
It's back now.
If anybody's wondering, I'm fucking around with my audio right now. So if
Yeah.
I go in and out, that's why.
If he goes in and out, it'll be a surprise to him.
It'll be yeah. Literally.
So how's everybody doing tonight? J Rod,
How's
Jacob
the chat
Goodwin,
going?
The Guard, LaShawn, Ryan Wagner, Brother Mister. Oh, you seen that trend on TikTok going around? It's like how'd your grandparents meet and tell me how your grandmother was a victim?
What?
And all of these people are telling stories about how, like, when their grandmother met their grandfather, he was like early 30s and she was like 14, and it, and you know, fucking 60s, 70, 80 years ago, that was acceptable for some reason.
For some reason, apparently.
Yeah. Matt, what is the Delta emulator? Not familiar. Did I miss something?
Where are we at here? Is that the Delta emulator is for Apple? And I believe it goes up to N64-ish.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, yeah. Pull it up on the screen too while you're looking it up, of course, so the people can see it.
Yeah. All right, there we go. I see. I wouldn't know about it because it's an iPhone, and I mean, you couldn't pay me enough to use an iPhone.
Why?
Because it's fucking garbage, Joel. It's inferior technology that you're paying for the name brand, not the tech. Everything is available cheaper and better on Android phones than iPhone. The iPhone ecosystem is for jerk offs. You know, my ecosystem is 10 times the size of Apple's.
What the fuck are you talking about, ecosystem?
Oh, so you could take your iPen and use it with an Android tablet, right?
Yeah.
No,
No,
you
wait,
can't.
no.
You
What
can
are you talking? What are
only
you talking
use
about?
it
What are you talking
with
about? Hold on. What are you talking
you
about?
can-
iPen. What are you talking about?
you iPen. It's a pen you write on your tablet with.
Pen.
Yeah.
PEN. You're saying pen.
Dude, hold on.
Is it
Now,
called a pen?
it's the iPen, and it's several $100s.
Isn't it called a fucking stylus?
Apple Pencil.
Pen.
Oh, look.
You said pen. It's not a pen.
Oh, it's a stylus. Is all
It's
it
a
is.
stylus.
Look.
Okay.
But look, it's
all right.
Oh,
but
look. Wireless pairing and charging. $129.
Is this what you're talking about with ecosystem? You know what it can work with?
Yeah, and it only works with official Apple products.
I mean, I don't use my phone for anything but porn and fucking text messaging. So, and here and there, you know, my Shopify account's on there too, so I can take a look at that. But I mean, I don't use my phone for anything else besides that. Like, I don't game on my phone. I don't fucking. I do Facebook and I do social media on my phone, and that's about it. And I might edit some videos, but I don't do anything else on my phone. I don't do anything. I have iPads, but like my phone isn't linked to my iPad because I don't want that carrying over for simplicity. I don't want you guys seeing my viewing history on my fucking Safari.
What the fuck is Safari?
Safari is the fucking internet for iPhone. It's Google basically. It's just they call it Safari, but it's Google. When you click on it, it's Google based.
That's interesting because I just use Google.
I mean, I have that on my phone too, but I just use fucking Safari. So
isn't Safari? If Safari is Google, but it's called Safari, isn't that just putting a hat on top of a hat?
I don't fucking know. Probably, I would agree with you on that. Look, I had an Android phone. I might have had a ghetto Android phone, but we're talking 12 years ago. I had an LG Android phone. It was one of the worst phones I ever fucking had. The
I
memory on it kept on fucking getting full, and I kept on having to clear cache. Like I hated the goddamn thing. And
yeah.
like every couple hours, it would keep telling me that my memory's full. My memory's full. And I had like the time I had a 128 gigabyte SD card inside it, and I didn't have that many photos on it or anything. But it might
Uh-huh.
have just been a ghetto droid. But I was
Yeah,
not a fan of the droid at all. I know there's ghetto droids out there too, but I'm not a fan of the droid after that. And when iPhone came out, it was a Sprint phone too, when Sprint was still around. And when iPhone came out for Sprint, I switched over to iPhone, and I never looked back because I never had an issue with it. The
it
battery life was fantastic, and that's all that I really care about is battery life.
dude, it took 2 years for Apple to even get a better camera than I had 2 years ago.
What do you mean? My camera's like a fucking, I don't know how many pixels it is,
What
17?
yeah, what kind of phone do you have?
I got the iPhone 13.
Hold on.
Why are you laughing? I don't buy a new phone every year.
Neither
I paid full
neither
price
do,
2 years ago.
neither do I.
Well, why are
It,
you laughing?
hold
I just,
on. Hold on. Is it an iPhone 13 Pro Max
fuck
Pro?
no, it's not. It's just the iPhone 13. Why are you phone shaming me right now?
Because I hate Apple.
You're fucking phone shaming me real hard. Like this is what B Kong must feel like when I'm mod shaming him on live. Like God, you're making me
Oh,
feel like a little person right now.
oh, dude, my phone is also several years old. So
Okay,
when mine came out, the 14 Pro Max came out and was
okay.
not as good as my phone 2 years ago. And you had the third. I got a Pixel 6 because I don't buy a new phone every year. The 8 came out this year. I'll get the 9.
So what? You're taking better dick pics than me? Is that what you're saying?
Everything's better. Everything.
Everything's better.
You guys get features on iPhone 3 years after us and act like it's earth shattering.
What features though?
Motherfucker, y'all just got USB-C charging for the first time only because the UK said they had to legally, that it was illegal to have that lightning charger, and then they sold it to the US as, oh, this is a better system that we're giving you, because they're not going to make two different phones.
Actually, no. My kid's got the 14, and I
The
bought it for
14 didn't
her.
have it yet.
Bullshit, it doesn't. A year and a half ago, it still has. So the bottom of the phone is the normal input, but the end of it is USB C.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about actually on the phone, dude.
I don't want a USB C charger on my phone. I hate them.
USB-C is a great charger.
Sure, but I
It's,
barely have any in my house, and I hate them.
dude, I have them. I have them for everything.
Nope, I hate them. Absolutely fucking hate USB C. I think it's stupid. Go back to a regular USB.
Joel, so let me hold on. All right, I'm so fascinated by the fact that you have an iPhone because you don't seem like an iPhone person to me. Yes, you're kind of a douche, but at
Thank
the
you. Like I'm a huge douche, dude.
I was softening that up a little
Actually, douchey Joel is a thing that my friends call me.
bit. Joel, oh look, it's Joel the douche.
No,
Anyway,
douchey Joel.
anyway, the reason I'm surprised you have an iPhone, to be honest, is because iPhones are made. They're really good for kids and old people because you can't customize shit. You can't make it your own. You're stuck with the way they want you to do things, and Androids are fully customizable. And I'm really surprised, as someone who builds emulators and computers and all kinds of other stuff, why you would want to be locked into a system that you can't change at all.
Because I don't plan on changing anything on my phone. Why would I change anything on my phone? I use my phone for literally text messaging and porn.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
I'm not kidding. I mean, what would I change on my phone? What am I doing? Am I hacking my phone? What am I doing on it?
Dude,
like, what do I need to change? Yeah, tell me. No, explain it to me. Explain it to me. Sell it to me.
Okay.
Sell it to me, baby. Come on. Come on.
You don't
tell me the ketchup popsicle and the white gloves. Come on.
You listen to music on your phone?
In my car.
Yeah.
But I have my music on my phone.
You got it on your phone?
Yeah, it's on my phone. My music is on my phone.
What's the name of the program?
It's iTunes.
iTunes. How much is iTunes, Joel?
It's free.
It's free. Every song is free.
It's my songs that I put on the phone. It's my songs that I've had since my iPod.
Oh, oh, so you're grandfathered in there. But if you want new songs,
No, I mean, if
hold
you
on,
want,
hold on. If you want new songs that you don't own the CD for, what do?
I download it illegally.
Dude, we
I
on
still
Android,
download music.
we have never paid for music.
I'm not paying for music though. I'm downloading it for
Yeah.
free through like my computer, and then I put it on my phone.
Millions of dollars a year to iTunes says that you are one of the few.
That still does that?
Yeah.
You're telling me that, okay, there's 12 people in the chat. Out of the 12 people in the chat, you still don't download music online for free from a website that you can do? Like, remember back in the day, LimeWire?
Oh,
Except there's new
got
things
so
now
many viruses.
except there's torrent downloaders now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I still download music for free. I don't buy music. Well, I mean, I can't say I don't. Once in a blue moon, I'll buy an album. But I'll buy that through the iTunes store if I do. Because it's just right there. But I still download fucking music all the time.
What?
I got like my phone has about 80 gigabytes of music on it. Something around like 50,000 songs.
I stopped downloading music because I don't want the space taken up on my phone anymore. But I downloaded music for years and years.
See,
now
my iPhone
I use Spotify now.
My iPhone is 512 gigs. So I've got like 5,000 photos and videos on it, and then I have 80 gigs worth of music. Yeah. And then I do all my editing for my videos. If I do edit a video, like when you see that new the last couple videos I put out on YouTube, it's got that watermark on it because I'm using a different program. I had Adobe on my phone, but I don't like Premiere Rush. At least the mobile version, I don't like it because it takes away the quality of the video and it makes it look shitty. So I found a different program and I'm just using the free version of it, which is why I got the watermark.
What do you think of the fact that Apple downgrades Android's pictures when they're sent to you?
So I think that's kind of stupid because my brother's got a Samsung Droid and he's a Samsung guy. He won't go over to Apple no matter what. He refuses. But I can't send him videos, and he can't send me videos because they're grained out. They're all fucking pixelated and shit. If I send him a video,
Apple does that on purpose.
I do. I know that. Okay. And so if I have to send him a video, I send it to him through Facebook Messenger so he can see it perfectly clear. Because for a while there, he's like, "What the fuck is wrong with your phone?" And I'm like, "Nothing. What the fuck is wrong with yours?" And he's like, "Nothing." So we had like a battle. And I'm like, "Bro, here, let me send it to you on Messenger. You tell me if it's fucked up." And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna fucking do it on Messenger then." So anybody with a Droid phone, I usually send them a video through Messenger.
Yeah.
Like you, I'm not even going to bother texting you, even though I have your number, because I'll get better communication with you through direct Messenger.
Yeah.
With photos and with everything else, because you have a Droid phone. There's no point. Yeah.
Well,
so, I mean,
we do send each other a lot of pictures.
We do, yeah. We talk almost all day, every day, actually.
Yeah.
Which is amazing how many people I text message in one day. But like my kid uses Spotify, but I'm old school. So like at one point I took all of my CDs when CDs were becoming obsolete in cars. I took all of my CDs, I uploaded them to my computer at the time. I bought an iPod and then I converted it into iTunes and transferred it over to my iPod. So I always had my music and I always had my CDs. I'm one of those guys that I love my music and I love my CDs. I'm a big music collector, I guess you can call it. I have had tons of CDs like everybody else would have. So I transferred it all over to my iPod, and then when I got my iPhone, I didn't want my music on my phone because my phone wasn't for that. But as the storage on the phone this is the first phone I actually had my music on. And I just put my music on this phone. I bought this 2 years ago in full price. And I put my iPad, I gave my iPad to my daughter, who fucking lost it, which I'm so mad about that still. But so all my music is I transferred all my music to my phone because I had the storage for it. I'm like, there's no way I'm ever going to go through 512 gigabytes of storage on my iPhone. And I haven't. I still have like 200 gigs left.
I take so many pictures for my claim sale, and I do it with my phone because when I was searching for a new phone, I almost got the newest Galaxy.
Right.
But the reason I didn't, and I went with the Pixel, is because the Pixel actually had the best camera on the market.
Yeah, see, I
So
don't care about the camera.
I do.
I mean, none of that really.
I,
I mean, I kind of do now, maybe because I'm doing videos.
dude,
But at the time, I didn't care.
every single picture on my website was taken with my cell phone camera.
So was mine, actually. So was mine. All my videos are taken with my cell phone camera, all of it. So when I get my next phone, I'm probably going to get the best one with the best camera options that it has, which is whatever the Pro or the Max shit is.
Right.
But I'm probably still not going to buy another phone. I'm that guy that doesn't buy a phone for 5 years.
Yeah, I generally wait at least 3 years.
Well, I buy them in full.
Yeah, me too.
These phones are $1,000.
Yep.
So when I got a grand, when I have to get a new phone, that's when I'll get a new phone. When I have to. Right. Otherwise, I'm not, like, if the battery life won't last on this thing, I'm not fucking with it. I don't care.
Matt.
iPhone users are weird. Yeah, the other shirt's going to say droids are for virgins. Dude, I'm really mad about this fucking Stream Deck. Dude, so I bought a Stream Deck, right?
Yeah, let's hear about it.
Here, and I had it working the other day, the day that I got it, which was what? Friday, I think I bought it. And I had it working with StreamYard. I made a bunch of test recording videos, trying to get this thing, to get the sound to come through. And right now, I can't get the sound to come through at all, and I'm really mad. I keep hitting the thing to see if you're going to give me a reaction that you hear something, and you're not hearing shit. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong at the moment either. And it's making me so mad. Now, all I'm doing is the same exact thing that I did before, and I can't figure out what the fudge I did. It's all in the audio somewheres.
Do you need to add it as a microphone?
I think I need to add it as a speaker. Hang on.
All right, well, do your thing, man. I don't care.
I mean, you just keep talking over here.
I don't know what to talk about. Oh, let's talk about something on my Dark Cloud stream.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
No. We don't need to talk about it. But, we already kind of talked about it. But, so, I wanted... What's up, Bill Mafia? Joel, why did I just hear myself?
What'd you say?
I heard myself right back.
Did you? Oh, that's because I'm changing my speakers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I was looking for cool little Easter eggs online. So I had, some stuff maybe I hadn't found because I wanted to talk. So I like to talk. I need to talk during my stream. Right.
Right.
And, I found a Reddit group dedicated to Dark Cloud, and it's got like 8,000 members. And I'm like, this is amazing. I love this. And a guy had posted a couple of years ago about some Easter eggs that I didn't know about because it's in the code. And I know about the game from playing the game. I don't know about the game from reading code or knowing about it online, right? So this is new information to me, and I'm like, this is really cool. And then every single day, there's this guy in that Reddit thread that posts himself playing the guitar, and he's playing like Naroon Village theme, the Divine Beast Cave theme, just different songs from Dark Cloud. Oh, and so I actually messaged him probably about 2 hours ago because I'm going to invite him on my live stream while I'm streaming Dark Cloud to play Dark Cloud music on his guitar. So your audio's gone again. Yeah, nobody can hear you. It's probably for the best. I don't know. Yeah, Sheline. Reddit is an Easter egg in itself. I love Reddit. I've learned so much stuff from Reddit. Joel, I'll let you know when I can hear you. You can keep talking.
Still can't hear me, huh?
Yeah, now I can.
Now you can. Okay.
Yeah.
Where is the issue?
That was a nice 30 seconds, huh, everybody?
The silence. You dick. Where? How do I do this? Nothing.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
All right, I give up on this shit. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I give up on this shit. I'll fuck around with it later. Anyways, all right. So, dude, what are you working on this week? You working on anything at all?
I I can't say, Joel.
You got a code name for it?
Yep.
What's the code name?
Gecko.
No, it's not.
I
What are you working on? Why are you taking my shit? I'm the lizard, not you.
Hey,
What are
listen,
you doing? What are you doing, Bill
listen,
Fuckboy?
listen to me, because it was
Bill
it's
10 don't.
I can still change the name of it, but we've discussed it before, so you know what I'm talking about. Speaking of which, it's something that me and Craig's been working on. Something that me and you tried working on a little bit with little success, and then I started working on it with Craig from Out of Control Games, and Craig kind of cracked it. So
You're going to have to tell me off screen.
the thin clients.
Oh, those things.
So guess what we're doing? I'll just tell you what we're doing with them.
Go ahead. Yeah, you tell the world.
All right, tell the world. And you know, I told you this already that I called it the gecko because it was kind of an inspirational thing. You know, just a nod to the retro lizard.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So that's why I called it the gecko. If you don't like it, if you don't want me getting in your fucking amphibious shit, I'll change the fucking name, Joel.
Doesn't call it Bill 10 don't.
There's not much Nintendo on it.
Well, I mean, it's got what, 64 gigs?
256.
256?
Yep.
Isn't it? Wait, or the thin clients were the ones that had the 64 gigabyte had the 64 gigabyte built into it that you couldn't crack, right?
No.
No. Okay, then I don't remember the thin clients.
Well, they might have 64 gigabytes built in, but you can't really get into it.
What was that? What was the thin clients? The one. What am I thinking of here? Is that the one that you bought in bulk? You bought like 20 of them?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I am thinking of the same thing here. And then we realized that it had like a 64 gigabyte memory built into it, which I told you we would have to figure out some way to plug it into a computer and flash it.
Well,
unless you're using an external drive.
Using an external 256 thumb.
I'm telling you, it's not going to work that good.
It's working. Everything's running great except for 2 games.
It's going to freeze up.
Here's the thing, Joel. The only thing we're doing with it is a MAME emulator.
Okay. And so be careful with it because you don't need 256 then if you're doing MAME.
I know.
Yeah, just be careful with it because it could freeze up. One of the reasons why I started using Batacera on a flash drive.
You can't use Batacera on this.
What are you using on it?
Emulation station.
Emulation station. It's a Windows thing.
Yep. Oh, no, it's not. It runs Linux.
Right, but I'm saying how your emulation station is what's behind Batacera and what's behind RetroPie. Right. So Batacera is just a cover for emulation station. That's all that it is. So you're just straight running emulation station on the thing running Linux then.
Yes.
Right?
Because it has its own Linux program called Thin Linux.
Okay. Right. So you're basically just running it as a normal computer and you're putting MAME on it to autoload, huh?
Yep.
Or you're using emulation station as an autoload feature is what I'm saying.
We're using emulation station as an autoload.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yep. Be careful though with using the flash drives or not the flash drives, or just an external on that because, like I said, I did have experience with them freezing up on me.
Right.
And that's why I decided to go internally instead of externally. On
right. No, if internal was an option, we would have done that. But if you remember, the only internal port is a SDIO, and nobody makes a SDIO that you can. An adapter to hook to fucking M.2 or MSATA or anything.
Right. And flashing an internal memory is a pain in the goddamn ass. It's possible, but you literally have to plug it into a computer, run a program. It's a pain in the fucking ass.
Extensive playing is going really well, but there's 2 games we cannot get running properly for MAME.
Killer Instinct?
Huh?
Killer Instinct?
No. Craig wants to get in touch with you to ask you some questions because he thinks he might be missing files or something.
Well, certain MAME games do have CHD files, and
It's
the CH
it's Cruising USA and Cruising World.
those do not have CHD files. They're just zips.
Well, he wants to talk to you about those two games specifically.
I can tell you right now, there's nothing specific to them. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, if he's listening, I don't know if Craig's listening or not, but there's nothing specific to those games at all. They are so when you run MAME, MAME is specific to the ROM set. It's a little different though with Linux. You can pretty much run any MAME ROM set you want on Linux because it's all going to run on that MAME. But when you're running MAME on Windows, MAME is specific to the ROM set. Like there's MAME 0258, there's MAME 0257, 243. I'm basically on my MAME. I've been using the same MAME for 5 years now because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So I'm not going to go back and download MAME all over again on my Windows.
So let me tell you where we're at with the Gecko.
Where are you at with the Gecko?
Everything is tested and running great except for those two games. Once we get those two games figured out, we're good to go.
I wouldn't worry about them too much. Are you planning to use arcade sticks with this or controllers?
Yes. Arcade
so
stick.
You're not playing driving games on arcade sticks. It sucks.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about Cruising USA or Cruising World too much at all. I would just use the arcade sticks or keep with the idea that you're doing, use the arcade sticks and run it that way. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll just kill Cruising.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're not using, I mean, you can't use a wheel with that shit anyways on Linux.
No.
So you can use a controller, but if you're using arcade sticks and setting it up for arcade sticks,
so
which you're slithering your way into my world over here.
No, I'm not because because part of this is that it's a budget build.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course it is.
Absolutely.
All you're doing is running MAME on it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's about as budgeted as you're going to get.
Yeah, but it's also specific because it comes with a mini arcade stick and stuff like that. It's a cute little setup, you know?
But, yeah, I call that the portable lizard.
Yeah, the Gecko.
No, that's what I call it, the portable lizard. It's not on my website, but I made one. I gave it to the radio station. Yeah, it's portable lizard.
Oh, well, I'm sure this isn't that fancy because it's made to be mass produced.
What do you think I do?
No, Joe, you do not mass produce. You build item by item.
Which is mass production.
Per customer. No, dude, if you are not doing 30 units a week, that's not mass production.
One person can't do 30 units a week anyways. That's just too much.
That's what I'm saying. You're doing a custom build. So mass produce is we do a complete.
I know what mass produces.
We're doing a complete production run of 50 units, and then when those get close to selling out, then we're going to do another run of another 50, and like that.
Okay.
So, because, yeah, that's just the way we're going to do it. Because the investment's different than, building a mini PC.
I mean, that's what it is. It's a mini PC.
It is, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not buying 50 Optiplexes to sit on until I sell them.
Right, but I mean, if you're mass producing here, you're building 50 units, and you're sitting on them until you sell them, which is mass producing.
Yes.
That's why I do order by order by order by order.
Well, I do too in general, but this is going to be an item where I don't do that because I can produce them for a certain amount.
Right. Yeah, I mean, my always rule is the first rule of business is never use your own money. So
no, it's a pretty good rule. I've shifted most of my business model to that.
Right, which is where the made to order comes in.
Right.
Do customers end up waiting longer sometimes? It happens, especially when you get busier. I've had customers at this point waiting almost up to a year for some stuff. But I mean, when you get busy, you get busy. There's nothing wrong with being busy. But at the same time, when you mass produce like that, you got to take your profit out of it, or do you take the profit out of it and do you flip it into 100?
I
You know, if
flip it.
you're,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and then you're sitting on 100, and it's I don't know, it's that's the thing about when you're putting money up front is that you don't see a return on it right away. If
right,
you're doing made to order, you see your return on it immediately.
right.
You know, so I mean that's the difference with all that stuff. Um, I mean, but all the power to you. You know, get it done, man.
So Joel, that being said, let's talk about this for a second. Um, I have been running and gunning for like the last 6 months with working on this or working on that and building a new this and building a new that, right?
Yeah,
The gecko and the alpha is going to be it for a while. I'm taking a break from any new builds for the most part, unless it's like a little pet project or a custom build for a specific customer. Um, because it's a constant, relentless cycle of I want to build something better, I want to build something different, and you know what? At the end of the day, my bills don't get paid by me building. Me building costs me money. So, and me trying new things costs me money. Selling the stuff that I built is what pays my bills. And I have to take a break from that constant cycle of trying to come up with something new and something different and
right.
sell some of the stuff that I have.
I always say to try to be unique and come up with an idea that somebody else isn't doing so that you might hold the market for it.
That's the alpha, baby.
Um, I did that with I did that with my light gun arcade. I like to make the claim to fame that I was the first person to, or first company putting out a multi-cade only for a light gun. And
Uh-huh.
now there, aside from Vic and I put one out at the same time. Actually, he
Yeah.
was working on one, and I was working on one at the same time. And he got his, he put his out first, obviously, and he does his by Vic's. By Vic is completely premium products. You're paying a hefty amount for it, and it's worth every fucking penny from Vic. It is. You know, if you're looking for a high end premium build with all the top notch shit that you can get, you're going to go to Vic, right? If you're looking for a light gun arcade, where it's going to be more, it's going to say, I'm going to say more affordable, without being offensive, of course. But it's more affordable. It's more. The price is more where it's supposed to be, more reasonable down low. That's where my light gun arcades come in. Yeah, my light gun arcade full size is $3,500 plus shipping, but you're getting the premium light guns on it. So
Right.
I still put premium stuff on it, but I put affordable premium stuff on it, I guess is what you can call it, as opposed for going all out on the build. I do have my higher end builds, of course, too, that I offer for people that want that
Right.
stuff. But now there's companies out there, aside from Vic and myself, there's three other companies out there doing light gun only arcades. And so they've come into the market. But, you know, we were the first ones doing it 3.5 years ago, which was unique. And those were becoming sellers for us. The Guitar Hero arcade, right now, knock on wood, I'm currently the only person who's selling a Guitar Hero arcade. It's unique,
You know,
right?
I'm actually really curious. So we should definitely track this.
Right.
How long until somebody else starts selling something like the alpha once I finally launch it?
Maybe. But the thing is that most of those games come on the multicades. People just don't know how to play them.
Right.
It's the thing. So you're going to be providing a product, and you're going to be explaining to people what you're going to need to play them, which
Well,
is different.
yeah, it's all
And
mouse and keyboard games, and it's
right.
going to come with a mouse and keyboard.
But when you put something like that on a multicade, you can't use a mouse and a keyboard on a fucking plexiglass deck.
Right.
You know, it just doesn't work. You know, at least the mouse doesn't work right on it at all, and you can't use a trackball to play those kinds of games. So
I,
they come on that stuff, but they don't come on it. It's not a standalone build. You're doing
brother,
standalone.
yes, I wish I would have thought of the alpha 2 years ago.
I mean, yeah, that would have been awesome. I mean, you thought about it now. It doesn't matter. I mean, you're going to have that coming out, and it's going to be fantastic when it does. That should be the Bill Tendo Memorial Day release weekend. Is what it should be. If you can get it done
When
by
is
then,
Memorial Day?
the last weekend in May. So about 6 weeks from now. Or if not, it could be the Bill Tendo 4th of July explosive extravaganza.
Nope, 6 weeks works for me. We're
There
gonna
you
make
go.
that happen.
So
Memorial
like, so like
Memorial Day release.
your alpha is going to be completely unique. My portable gun box is completely unique. Nobody
Right.
else makes that. I've sold 4 of them right now. Thank God. Sales starting to pick up on those though. The word on that's starting to spread out. So that's a unique product is what it is. So I always, like I said, I always say that if you can have a unique product that you can offer to the community or to a market that nobody else is offering that to, it'll pick up and you'll be the one selling it is what's going to happen. So always come up with the unique ideas that you can come up with. My next one that I'm doing, that's not unique, but I will probably be the only person selling it because currently right now nobody else is,
Uh-huh.
as a Dance Dance Revolution multicade dedicated. All right, and it's going to be a premium. The dance pad alone is $450.
Right.
So it's probably going to be around a $3,000 price mark that I'm going to be selling it at. But currently, right now, nobody sells a DDR multicade. Nobody. So I'll be the first person selling a DDR multicade, and I'm trying to get that out by the 4th of July too myself.
Joel, we're giving away all our secrets right now.
I mean, we're talking about it. There's things in my head that I haven't talked about that
Right.
nobody knows about that I'm working on too and designing.
I do the same shit. Like
Right.
I talk about certain things, but there's also the reason I talk about the alpha so much is because so goddamn difficult.
You know what? Brandon just put in a very, very good question here, right? So it's a thin line, Brandon, is what it is. It's a very thin line. Could they? They could send a cease and desist. The thing is that when you're selling a system, you can't charge per game. You cannot. If you start charging per game or charging for usage of it, you're going to get caught because now you're making money off of those licensed products.
Right.
So when you're selling something like this with hundreds of games inside it or thousands of games inside it, you cannot charge a person per game. You can only charge them you're allowed to charge for programming, right?
Right. For our time and effort to put together a custom system.
Or when it comes to putting it together for the order, right? So cloning it, buying the product, testing the product, customer service to you, all of that stuff is what counts as you're buying a service is what you're buying. It's right. The same thing as if you did it, but we're just doing it for you.
Right.
And then we're offering our customer service and we're offering a warranty with it too to back up the product.
I tell people all the time that I might have a lot of products.
Right.
But you're not buying a product from me. You're buying a service from me. It's my time and effort to put all this together. It's me that you can call if something doesn't work right or if you don't have a problem. Or if you do have a problem. That's what you're paying for.
Right.
Because
so like
anything I do, you can do.
Right.
If you want to invest the time, energy, and money into doing it.
Exactly. I've been saying that for years myself. And that's exactly when people start, but if people go on and bash a price or something like that, like you can do the same thing for cheaper. Simple as that.
Yep.
So it's a fine line that we're doing. Can Nintendo try to sue me? Sure, they can try to sue me. But what Nintendo has to prove is that I'm making money off the games. That's what Nintendo has to prove. So, and they have to prove that in my pricing or for example, Nintendo's pricing. You can't find that in my pricing anywheres because I'm charging you for labor and materials. That's what I'm charging you for. So if you order let's say you order my biggest arcade, right, which is my Mega Lizard, it's $5,500, and it comes with a 20 terabyte hard drive inside it. If you want that build with the 20 terabyte hard drive and the same way that I build it for everybody else, but no games, it costs exactly the same because there's no price on the games. It's all price on materials and parts. The 20 terabyte drive is $400. So, I mean, that's just where it is. It's just a fine line that we're towing over here. But it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really works.
Yeah. I have a unit on my site that has 10,000 games and it's $350. And I have another one that has 25,000 games and it's $150. So it all depends on the build quality and stuff like that.
It is. It depends on what you're doing.
Game.
That's exactly what it is. It's not a per game thing. You're
Right.
buying a bulk game. If you're buying a 256 gigabyte drive with 8,600 games loaded up on it, that means we can't load any more games on it. That's what that means. We hit the max. We can't do it. And there's nothing else that we can put on it.
Wait, what do you mean we charge?
She's kidding. She's kidding.
Oh.
She's kidding.
All right, I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
I was confused how she came to that conclusion.
Right. So, like, if you purchased a Nintendo Retro Lizard build from Bill, but you tell him you don't want any games on it, I just want the build, right? You want a bare bones. It's going to be the same price.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no difference in There's no difference in pricing or materials. She's fucking with us.
The machine's free. I'm only charging for the games.
Exactly. I had a fucking person comment on one of my ads the other day, and I know who the person is, and it kind of annoyed me that he did, but he put in the comment, so it costs $3,500 for what did it say, for labor and wood. That's what he said, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? And I'm always prepared for somebody to do that, so I did a straight price breakdown on everything, and it came out to like $2,565.
Yeah,
and my price is $3,500.
Wait,
and I put in there.
Did you also put in there like my CNC machine? Those cost $4,000.
No, but I put in there not counting my 2% website fee and my 2% PayPal or credit card fee that gets taken out on top. So a 4% fee, sometimes 5% fee, depending on what payment you're using, on top of the price that gets taken out of my profit, not from the cost of the materials. So it's like, what are you going to do, man? Man, your teeth are white.
No, they're not.
You got some chops on you, dude. Do that again. Look at those choppers. Fucking make Scrooge McDuck look fucking jealous.
No way, man. No way, Joel.
Yeah, this kind of stuff annoys me though when people do that. But either way, so we're just tolling a line is what we're doing. We're not charging per game. The radio station asked me the same thing. They're like, okay, if you're going to sponsor us, how are you able to sell this without having a license? And I basically just explained it the same way that I explained it to you guys. And they're like, oh, all right, that makes sense. There you go. Any comments, Bill?
No, I had a beard. One of the hairs off of my beard was in my mouth.
Are you okay? Oh man, I don't want to comment because your wife's fucking watching.
Is she?
She probably is. She's probably in the background.
Mm-mm.
No.
I think she's on the phone with Phil.
You know what I'm mad about? I can't find my Scuttlebutt shirt.
Really?
I don't know where it is. It was in my kitchen. I moved it into my bedroom, and I can't find it. I have no idea where the hell it is.
What's funny is my wife asked me the other day, we've been having those shirts for what, like 2 weeks now?
Yeah.
And my wife's like, how many times are you going to wear the damn Scuttlebutt shirt?
Well, that's the thing. I haven't even been able to wear it yet.
I like to wear it.
I've worn my GameOnia shirt twice already, but I haven't been able to wear the Scuttlebutt shirt, and I want my Scuttlebutt shirt real bad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where the fuck it is. Like, well, I feel like my kid wore it to school and she didn't tell me.
She lying. What you mad about? Tell us. Joel knows. That son of a bitch.
Tell us what you're mad about, she lying.
Yeah, put Joel on blast.
Are you mad about fucking you only had 300 views on your YouTube video today? Is that what you're mad about? Let's wait for the reply. This is where the sound effect machine would come in. I'd play the Jeopardy theme right now. I had this motherfucker working, dude. When we're done streaming tonight, I'm fucking getting this goddamn thing working. Sure. And then we're going to come back for a Bill Tendo after hours, and then we're just going to play sound effects.
Yeah, because I'm sleeping on the couch tonight.
97 Rock YouTube guy. I sponsored Slick Tom for 5 months, and then I did the Shred and Reagan Super Bowl Squares giveaway. I sponsored the main prize. Surprised you didn't hear the name. I'm sure you would have heard the name on the radio if you listened to Shred and Reagan. YouTube guys from Buffalo. I'm mad at you. Oh, I'm mad about you. Are you douche?
Lame!
Douche.
I thought I was gonna get to hear some dirt.
What is the Indie World Show? I never heard of that. Is that independent games? Vatchguard, give us some details on that. What is that?
Yes, tell us what it do.
Yes. Vatchguard, one of our #1 viewers. Thank you, dude, for watching all that.
Yeah, homie is here every week. I
He,
appreciate that, man.
I love that he's here every week. We got
I
it. That's our #1 fan.
sometimes I don't even think I'm gonna make it every week.
Right? Same. Seriously, same, dude. Same. Oh
Sometimes
man.
it's rough. Like
Right.
tonight, it was a little rough because my wife had to work late and she got home 15 minutes before I popped on with you. And so she has to leave for work super early in the morning. So I'm not even going to sleep in the room tonight because she'll be sleeping by the time we're done. And then she'll be up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So fuck, I'm sleeping on the couch. Don't wake me up at 4:30.
The Nintendo Direct for the indie games. No, I never heard of that. Vatchguard, anything cool that you might have seen in that you want to talk about? We can look up and mute the videos so that we don't get hit. Thank you, Brandon.
Sheline, what are you talking about the scheduling thing?
So Sheline was she has this little series called Arcade versus Console. As a matter of fact, I'll pull up the video so you guys can see the video because she did a preview. So let me see if I can find the video on YouTube. But she does Arcade versus Console.
All right.
And she does fantastic content when she does that stuff. I'm sorry, sometimes it's hard for me to do two things at once and talk and search things at the same time. So
walk and chew gum. We get it.
Exactly. Absolutely exactly. So let me pull up the shorts here so I can pull it up.
What up, VGL?
I don't see the short, She-Lion, of your commercial that she did. So she did a short for it. It's Arcade versus Console. I'm going to pull up the video over here on the screen. Hang on, let me share.
Oh, I'm not even following her. All right,
yeah, you should go follow her.
I just subscribed.
Share screen. Share. All right, you guys see that on the screen? All right, so this is She-Lion's brand new video that she just put out. It's Arcade versus Console with variances of ports, and I believe she's talking about the Neo Geo 2 console ports between the S and Ks. So,
Samurai Showdown, released in 1993 on the Neo Geo MVS, the first in its genre to outclass any other fighting game with weapons, and a roster of characters as memorable as Street Fighter II. In this video, we'll delve into this best-in-class weapons fighting game and see how well the console ports stood up to the arcade version.
were you able to hear that sound, Bill?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. I was talking and you didn't respond to it, so I wasn't sure if you guys could hear it since I've been fucking around with my audio. But that was supposed to release today at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or it would have been 3 o'clock my time, but she's California. And she was editing it yesterday and into last night, and she accidentally set the premiere to go off at 1 o'clock in the morning. And she didn't do a thumb yet. She didn't do a thumb yet. She didn't do any description yet. It was like, a completely raw, unready to go product.
Yeah.
So she's been pissed about that all fucking day long because it already had viewers on it. She didn't want to remove it. And, the YouTube algorithm, if you release at certain times, you're basically going to get shadow banned because nobody's going to see it. You know what I mean? So she's got 5,000 subs on her channel.
Right.
And, how many people have taken a look at this so far? She's got 5,000 subs, and it looks like only 422 people have seen it in the past 17 hours. So, I mean, I get why she's mad. Yep. I get it.
Dude, I did a similar thing today. I told you that.
But everybody in the chat, go like She-Lion Gaming on YouTube. Check out her stuff. She does really awesome videos. I've been live with her a few times. She's an arcade gamer. She's a console gamer. She's got this great series, Arcade versus Console, that she puts out videos on throughout the year. It's not a consistent thing that she does every single week or every single month. It takes time for her to make these videos and get creative with the content. And she gives a fuck about her content that she puts into it. So go give her a like and a follow, guys. And she's really into arcade gaming, though. And she's been into arcade gaming since the early 2000s. She built her first arcade cabinet in, 2004. excuse me, in like 2004, something like that. So, yeah.
So Sheila, and I also just followed you on Instagram. I sent you a message. I got an idea for a collaboration. I want you to do my new series, The Good Chair.
Yeah, Sheila, go on Bill's show and let him do an interview with you, man. It's a recorded interview, but
Yep.
go on there and do that. Our what is it that I taped on top of the deck before drilling? I used blue, what do you call it? Blue painter's tape to hold the plexi down, and then I use a 1 1/8 Forstner bit to drill the holes. That's all that I did. I don't recall putting anything else over the top of the deck before drilling it. So all I did was hold it down with painter's tape, and then I went to town with drilling. That's all that I did, I believe. That's, you know what's crazy? That so I I made that NBA Jam modding video 3.5 years ago, and it is still to this day, one of the most viewed videos for people to reference for modding arcade 1-ups. It's crazy. Crazy.
Drill it.
Your voice is weird.
Drill it.
Drill it. So, what we talked about, what you're working on, what do I got going on, right? We're still doing house stuff over here, right? So I'm finishing off the first arcade for Facebook. I'm going to start getting the Guitar Hero going on Friday. I cut up 2 portable gun decks today. Got to cut 2 more tomorrow. And then personally, I'm turning this kiosk right here into a Nintendo 64 kiosk. Is what I'm turning that into, and I'm using the Japanese ice blue Nintendo 64 that I got from Bill Tendo too to turn that into a Nintendo 64 kiosk. I have the 64 in it right now. I got blue Gobi lights inside it. No controllers hooked up. You can see Zelda's on the screen, but it's Japanese Zelda. So I don't have any American games right now because I sold my N60, my other N64 kiosk. N64 I can't get away from it. I can't get away from it.
Yeah.
At all. Can't get away from it at all.
Yep. I understand that. Oh, also, Joel, let me kick back for a half a second. You'll be getting one of the geckos for free.
Okay.
I mean, it's not something you'll probably use a whole lot, but at the same time, like, just check it out. And
check it out. I'll give you my opinions on it.
Yeah.
And let you know if there's anything to fix or do differently on it.
Right. But you're definitely getting one.
Okay. I appreciate that. I hate arcades. I just build them. That's all that I do. That's what I do. As Game Junction responded, Matt, that is my CNC machine. I got a CNC machine to cut my own products. Did he respond to your video in a video? No.
No. As a matter of fact,
he's not gonna. You know why? He's kind of a pussy.
I've skimmed his weekly podcast earlier today, and just to see, because he has this giant description, right?
Right.
And of all the things they're going to talk about, and it wasn't in there. And the only reference he's ever made to it was in like a 6-minute live video. He made the comment like one time, he's like, I will be doing a live or talk about it on the podcast. I will address some community issues. And that's it. So, no, as far as I'm concerned, Brandon is going to pretend like he didn't do anything wrong except get attacked.
That is fucked up.
Kenny, good question. How much will the gecko cost? Right now, I'm shooting for $150, buddy.
$150
with the mini arcade stick, man.
Does that come with a Loch Ness monster?
Tree
fitting?
It does sound like a crazy price, right?
No, it doesn't. It sounds actually like a pretty goddamn good one.
No,
Wait a
that's
minute.
what.
Are you saying 150 with
Yeah.
arcade sticks?
Well, it's not a full arcade stick. It's a pre-built arcade stick that I ordered.
Like a fight stick?
Yeah, but a small one.
Oh, so you're not making it?
No, I'm not.
You're just using like an
not,
Amazon one for like you're using like an Amazon one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot at $150. I absolutely cannot build an arcade stick for it.
No, you can't. That's why I said you're for 150. You're doing this with arcade sticks because immediately in my head I'm thinking you're building it.
Do you actually want me to show you? So
if you want to, go ahead.
Yeah, hold on. I have one. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm looking up how to fucking attach my Stream Deck to this shit right now. So it's driving me nuts.
This is not the one we're using, but it's similar. We tried out probably 6 of them.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me grab a gecko too, so people can see what they look like. All right. So we tried out a number of mini arcade sticks with like the suction cups on the bottom, but I can't build one for this price and still sell this thing for $150. I mean, I'm spending like my Pi build cost me seriously $100 to build.
Yeah.
I make 30% off of it. And this is the same way. I'm going to make 30% off of it, but I wanted it to have a low price. So, I don't make good money on it, but it's a good product at a good price. So this is the Gecko. It's built on the Dell ThinWise, right?
Right.
So you got 2 USBs in the front, 2 in the back, display ports, audio. That's where your power goes. You can hook to the internet if you need to, audio jack. But this is a mini PC.
Right.
You know that, Joel. This is actually a PC. And this is like I said, this is not the controller we're using. It's similar. It has more buttons. It's a little bit sturdier, but it's one of these.
Okay.
And it's got the suction cups to stick to the table.
Yep.
It just plugs in with USB. But we found one that's slightly better than this. Like I said, we tried a number of them. And obviously we had to find the one that we liked the best, at the price point we wanted to be at. So you're going to include those two things together. Obviously, it's going to be a complete plug and play option. You're just going to do 1 player, or you're going to do 2 player. 1 player. I will do a 2 player pack. I'm going to put that option. But
let me see. Let me see that arcade stick again. Okay, I was looking for start and coin buttons, which you got up top. I see them. Yep. I see them.
But like I said, this is not the exact one we're using. This is just one of the ones we tested. It's similar. It's actually the other one is Joel. It not only is it an 8 button,
right?
But instead of having 4 buttons at the top here, it's actually got, I think, 6. So
you actually for MAME itself, just in general, you don't need an 8-button arcade stick layout for buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the actual action buttons. You don't need an 8-way layout for those because there isn't any games on MAME that use an 8-button layout. The newer arcade games for like Technoparrot will use an 8-button layout, but those won't. MAME won't. So your 6-button layout is going to work perfectly with it actually, and a majority of the games will work with 4. Oh, excuse me, I got indigestion. A majority of the games will work with 4 buttons because really the only 6-button arcade stick games are the fighter games, like your Street Fighters and your Mortal Kombats and things like that. So your Killer Instincts, your Tekkens, your King of Fighters for SNK. You know what you should do? Since you're putting MAME on it, put Neo Geo on it.
That's a good idea.
Yes, Neo Geo is only like 150 games.
Yeah, I can fit it.
Yeah, Neo Geo is super small.
because the drives I'm using on these things are 256 gigabytes.
When you get the 20 terabyte drive for me, take the Neo Geo folder off and put it on there.
Fucking waiting on you, man.
It's going in the mail tomorrow. I didn't fucking take anything to do. You know what? I fucked up. I bought I had to find a new source for our mini PCs. Because
What'd
the
you do?
original source was
I
taking too
sent
long,
you a
right?
source.
You never gave me that guy's name. You didn't send me his information because I paid you for it and you ordered them for me and then you sent them to me.
Fuck.
So I found another guy on eBay and I ordered them, but I had to order the 256 drive separately. No big deal. And I opened up the box yesterday and I started working on the PCs. And today, I'm getting ready to ship these, and I realize I don't have the power supplies.
You can order.
I know,
but that's a pain in the ass.
It is, and I'm like, motherfucker, this dude didn't send me the power supplies. So before I message him, of course, I had to go to the description and check the description because when you check the description of the eBay listing, it doesn't say no adapter not included. I didn't read the full description. I never do. Because it usually says it in the headline if an adapter isn't included, right?
Right.
So this dude didn't put that in. This dude didn't put that in his headline.
Right. I'm gonna send you that other source.
Yeah, send me the other source. And I hopped in the full description and it said no power supply included. I'm like, motherfucker. So luckily my Amazon is on point. I ordered 10 of them today. They're gonna be here tomorrow. But it still slowed me down. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. So let's address this real quick. PSX is PlayStation 1. So it goes all the way up to PlayStation 1. Correct, Joel?
PSX is PlayStation 1, yes.
All right. Now we'll move on to when will this be available? Next week. Next weekend. I think I'm launching it on Friday. So you'll see some advertisements for it here and there.
So how are you... Can I ask how you're doing it? Or do you want to save that for private chat?
What do you mean by how I'm doing it?
So, like, it's using Linux, right?
Yep.
And instead of having to install it every single time on every single little one, I mean,
we'll talk about.
Let's talk about it off screen. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. In all fairness, I'm not going to use the idea. Obviously.
No, I don't.
I'm curious myself how you're going to do it.
If you do.
No, I know that, but I'm just letting you know. I don't plan to do that, but I'm curious on how you're going to get that set up. So keep me posted on that, and let's talk about that off screen.
We can talk about this more later. I was actually going to offer you the alpha.
For what?
Like if you wanted to stock it.
Oh no, that's all you. No, if I was going to do anything with the alpha, I would just take all the DOS games you put on it, and I would fucking put it on one of my big drives. Yeah, that's all that I would do with it. So, do you have Wolfenstein?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, so what I'm working on right now is... So there's a version of Doom that you can play with arcade sticks and with controllers. It's called PR Doom, and it comes by default on Batacera. So you can play that with arcade sticks and buttons. I got a guy that contacted me about 2 weeks ago, and I've been working on this for 2 weeks. He wants a Doom-only arcade.
Nice.
Right. Cool. Very cool. But
wait.
We talked on the phone.
When you say Doom only, does that mean no Quake, no Wolfenstein, no Doom?
He wants a dedicated Doom arcade. Dedicated Doom. Straight up.
This is not a joke. I got a message from somebody last week, a friend of Tabby's, and the person will buy any build I have as long as it has Doom 2 on it. He doesn't care about any other game.
Right. So he does want as many Doom games as we can put on it to play with arcade sticks and buttons and not controllers.
Right.
And I told him, the newer we go in Doom games, you're not going to be able to play that, but we can definitely play at least like Doom 1 and 2, Doom for Super Nintendo, things like that. I don't know how many versions of Doom he actually wants on it, when you only really need one. So I've been working on that. The other thing is he also wants a dedicated Wolfenstein cap. So I don't know if I can get Wolfenstein to work with the arcade sticks and buttons yet, or if there's a version out there that I can. Or he wants like the actual DOS version to
Right,
work with arcade sticks and buttons.
but I don't know why. All right, so certain arcade sticks, um, certain arcade sticks in certain settings, like the X stick, the tank stick,
Right,
you can set it so the PC reads it as a keyboard. So
right.
why
But
would
the
you not
key
be able to set up
because
Wolfenstein with that?
because there is actually using an axis involved with it. So as you know, the Doom game, the mouse is what controls the gun, right? And the left click on the mouse is the shooting button. You can't emulate that through a encoder.
Okay.
You have to use something like Joy to Key, and Joy to Key isn't that great to do with something like that. So that's why I'm looking for a version that is compatible with it, like a hacked version of the game.
Okay.
So I'm hunting around for it. Is what I'm doing. I don't know. I've never played Wolfenstein. I haven't touched the Wolfenstein
I
thing
played
yet.
it not too long ago.
But so when you play Wolfenstein, what button do you press to shoot? The keyboard or the mouse?
Oh, I only play keyboard. You can use either.
You can use either. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, it's possible that I might be able to do that with Wolfenstein. I don't think
Yeah.
I'd be able to do it with Doom.
Wolfenstein, dude, Wolfenstein is the same as Doom. Everything's the same. It's made by ID. Wolfenstein 3D, they made like 2 years before Doom or a year before Doom.
But when you're building something like that and you're going to put multiple versions of a game on it to be dedicated,
right,
you have to make sure the controls are universal.
Right.
So I could buy an iPad encoder, and I could change every single one of those inputs on the iPad encoder to work with Doom correctly, right? But then is that going to work with Doom 2?
Well,
that's the question.
Yeah. No,
and you can't set up different profiles.
Right.
So,
Joel, either people love this conversation or they're like, this is the nerdiest shit I don't understand.
It's got to be the nerdiest shit that they don't understand, right? So Billy wants to know how many games are coming in that Gecko.
Right now, I think we're at 1,500 arcade games. I'd have to double check. I'll have a final list, and it will be typed out.
And then Lacey wants to know about Batacera. Batacera is a front end, Lacey. So Batacera is a Linux front end. It's like RetroPie on steroids, and it's been out for a couple years, but it's the best version you can use on a mini PC.
Introduce me to Batacera.
I love Batacera.
Changed my life.
Changed my life too, man. I actually kind of just stumbled across it a few years ago without even trying, and it was exactly what I was looking for when I needed it. Brandon, there's a YouTube. If you go to my products collection, and you go to the retro, if you go to the retro gun box, the PC itself, there's a video linked to it that will demonstrate the games list on it. It's a video, is what it is. I can't pull up a master list for that. Yeah, I love Batacera.
Yeah, Batacera, I think it's safe to say, is both of our go-to now.
Everybody's using Batacera now. Yeah. It's the hottest thing on. It's like the hottest thing out right now. Well, it really is.
I mean, I can't use Batacera for my alpha build, unfortunately. But
in the arcade community, it is like the hottest thing right now because it's plug and play like Unready. All you got to do is just add your games to it. It is one of the easier front ends. It's a hell of a lot easier than using a RetroPie and adding games to it over network when you can just hit F1 on a keyboard and have the games. Batacera is a hot commodity right now, and it's very, very popular in the arcade community. So I've been using it for about 2.5 years. I had to find a replacement for RetroPie. Remember when the Raspberry Pi started being over $100? They were like $130, $140.
Yeah, they got up to $150. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, they did.
That's when I started experimenting with Orange Pi and the Libre and all of that.
And that's when I started experiencing with different lower end front ends. I was going to do a very low end Launchbox build,
right?
But you have to use Launchbox with a graphic card because it won't keep up with it. And so I tried RetroBat. RetroBat was too slow. You know, and I'm trying to do these on budget PCs that at the time were costing $50, which is what we're using now, which are now $100. It's crazy the price of PCs in the past couple of years. But that's where I stumbled upon Batacera. I'm like, this is Linux based. It's fucking easy as hell to use, and I got it going. I've been on it since Batacera 33.
You know,
Tell me, Bill. You know what? Tell me, Bill.
the alpha build actually, it was a thought for a minute, but Joel actually, so a big fault of mine is I'm cheap. I'm cheap all the time. I'm always looking for the best deal. And a couple times I've gotten myself in a bind because I was trying to get something cheaper that would do the same thing and it didn't. The Gecko is a direct result of that because I bought these things in bulk. Excuse me. Thinking I could use them for something else, a different project, and it didn't work out. And so, you know, the Gecko actually came from working on trying to figure out what to do with these things. Even though I could have sold them individually on eBay and tripled my money, I'm like, you know what? It'd be cooler to figure out what to do with them to make them into something. And that's how the Gecko came to be. Now, the Alpha is kind of the same thing. I bought some mini PCs and I thought they were identical to what we were using, except they were a little bit older. And so they would not run Linux. Linux won't boot in them unless you change stuff in the coding about adding a Windows window driver or something, even though it's Linux. And I was like, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I've been kind of thinking about this alpha build. I'm going to have to do it through Windows with DOSBox. So the alpha build actually came out of me being cheap also. So it's a terrible quality, but I try to use it to my advantage.
It's a terrible quality, he says.
Look, y'all don't know. Joel yells at me all the time. He's like, quit being cheap, Billy.
What I tell you is stop straying. That's what I tell you. Stop straying. Can you hear me right now still?
Yeah.
Okay.
I made one stray, but it's an improvement. Your volume's gone, I think. Oh, yeah, it's gone. So everybody enjoy this for a minute. Oh.
Womp womp. I had that sound effect too.
Yeah. So one of my strays was not being cheap. It was just trying something different, and that actually worked out really well. And that's the when I started doing the Retro Lizard and XL on a Hero box. Now it had all the same specs as a Dell Optiplex, except it's brand new. And you know, hold on, I have one right here. I've been streaming with it for all my PS2 stuff, and it has built-in Bluetooth and everything. And I was like, I like the way they look. And when I do my kiosk, that you can mount them to the back of the TV very easily. But they have HDMI out. These things are cool looking, you know. So that's kind of that stray worked out also because I bought it for like because it can mount to the back of the monitor.
I do like that you can mount it to the back of the monitor. I think that's really cool.
I didn't even know, and I've been streaming on this thing. And yesterday, I think it was, I plugged a PS3 controller into it, and I had it hooked up with the wire, and I was mapping that controller out, and then I accidentally pulled the wire out the controller, and it still said PS3 controller at the top of the screen. And I was like, what the fuck? Because the Dell Optiplex mini PCs don't have Bluetooth. But this thing does. But it's a little bit more expensive.
It's a little bit more expensive?
Yeah, not a ton. Like you're looking at they're in between $110 and $130 depending on where you buy them.
That's not bad.
No, not at all. And it actually comes with a 256 M.2 in it, and they're brand new.
You can't beat that at all.
No.
No, 256 M.2 inside it. You can't beat that at
Yep.
all, man.
Yep. And if somebody wants XL, I just pull it out, and the SSD goes right in the bottom of it.
Very, very interesting. That's what you just reminded me what I did want to talk about tonight. The fucking Sega Saturn.
Oh, fuck Saturn. Whatever.
Fucking Sega Saturn. I got I got the Saru.
Yeah.
And I like it. Don't get me wrong. The Saru is a great option for SD loading. If anybody has a Sega Saturn and they want like a multi-cart thing for it, get the Saru from AliExpress and load up an SD card with the BenQ games on it. That's the only downfall to the Saru, is that the games have to be BenQ and they have to be inside a folder labeled the name of the game. So that took me a couple hours to set that up. Either way, I think the Saturn's shitty. I'm a fan of the Saturn. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of the Saturn, but I'm not a big fan of the Saturn anymore. Like, I think I was more of a fan of the Saturn because I'm a Sega guy. And Sega is, the Sega Saturn was our PS1, but there's not that many games for it, that are good. It's got the American library is 226?
Yeah,
Something
but
like that?
there's like 800 Japanese games for it.
Right, and I don't play Japanese games, so we're not gonna bring up the Japanese games because I couldn't even tell you what's a good Japanese game for the Saturn. But for the American games, I mean, for anybody in the chat, what's the first game that comes to mind when you think Sega Saturn?
Nights in the Dreams.
There you go. So there's Nights in the Dreams, which is the 1996 version of Sonic the Hedgehog for Sega Saturn. The first game which I think is a terrible game. That's a fucking terrible game. I tried playing that the other day too, and I think it sucked. I think it sucked ass, actually.
Shining Force?
Now, Shining Force, I'm a huge Shining Force guy, so that will never... The Shining Force is always going to be amazing to me no matter what. And Shining Force 3...
Mr. Bones?
No, I wasn't a fan of it. Shining Force 3 for the Sega Saturn was good because it was the first 3D Shining Force RPG. So that was a good version. It was a good game to play. But the Sega Saturn really only has 4 games.
Panzer Dragoon?
Fuck Panzer Dragoon.
I played it. It's okay.
It's okay. That's it. It's okay.
Here's the thing.
No. Hang on. Okay. There's a difference between the first two and Saga. Because Saga is an RPG game.
Yes.
Okay, and the other two are not.
They're basically shoot 'em ups.
Yes, basically, yeah. They're basically just shoot 'em up games on the rail where you're just going back and forth on the fucking dragon. And if you die, you have to start the whole level all over again, which makes me angry. So that makes me super angry. But other than Panzer Dragoon, all right, let's say Nights into Dreams, Daytona. What else is there? There's nothing else. I mean, okay, Bug,
Lost World, Space Jam.
No, those are all on PlayStation 1.
No.
And all those games are on PlayStation 1 that you can play, and honestly, I think they're better on PlayStation 1. Quake, Resident Evil.
Okay, so here's my thing.
All on PlayStation 1.
Here's my thing about the Sega Saturn. I was obviously a Nintendo guy growing up, and like 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I was like, man, I really want a Saturn. So
There's no Crazy Taxi on Saturn.
I bought a Saturn, and a buddy of mine gave me some games that he found in his basement.
Okay.
One of them is a game I would highly recommend on Saturn.
Which is?
3 Dirty Dwarves. If you like playing beat 'em ups, oh my god, it's so good. You have all
Okay, so that's not on my list. So
okay, you should definitely play it. I promise you. If you like a beat 'em up, it's really good.
Right.
So other than 3 Dirty Dwarves, that Saturn and about 35 games sat on my shelf for about 2 years, maybe 3, and never once did I think I'm going to turn on the Saturn. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm selling it. And I sold it.
So, I mean, I had a few games for my Saturn, like physical games, when I had my other Saturn collection going on. But I picked and chose what games that I bought, which was, of course, Daytona. I think Mortal Kombat 2 for the Sega Saturn is good, and it's got a really good soundtrack to it. The soundtrack was unique to the Saturn only. So we got maybe 4 games, 5 games for the Sega Saturn out of the entire 226 North American library. That sucks. That's basically why that's basically why the system fucking failed. It couldn't keep up. It couldn't do its shit. So I think the Saturn is nostalgic, but I think it's shitty nostalgia. That's what I think it is, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not the biggest fan. I get why people
no.
like it, but it's not for me.
Right. It's not. I kind of turned it into 2. It's not for me either. I don't think any of the other games for it are that great. There's nothing onto it that's like a go-to for me. If the system doesn't have any more than 10 games that you can go to, I don't want to touch it. It's one of those. Now, all the other systems that came out after it or before it have plenty of games that are go-tos. And there are over 10 games. Nintendo 64 is sky's the limit on what you're going to enjoy on that system. PlayStation 1, fuck, even the fucking Jaguar. The Jaguar's got like, what, 26 games, and it has at least 10 games that are bangers for it, if not more. So, yeah. Yeah, the Saturn is I think it's an overrated system, and I think it's just there for nostalgic purposes to be in your collection. That's it. Now, if somebody offered me a Sega Saturn kiosk, I sure as hell wouldn't turn that down.
So I'm about to pop 3 dirty dwarves on the screen.
Okay. Hang on, let me answer Brandon's question here before you do that.
Yeah,
Brandon
go
wants to
ahead.
know the easiest way he can play the House of the Dead remake with a light gun, the most cost-effective way to do it. Brandon, you're going to need a Windows PC because the House of the Dead remake is only compatible with light guns on a Windows PC. So you're going to need a Windows PC to play that game. You can buy a Sinden light gun. The Sinden light guns work okay on Windows. I don't recommend them on Windows because of the software needed to use them. You can always use a Wii remote. You can also use an aim track gun, or if you want to spend the money on a light gun, my recommendation for Windows is Gun for IR. It's a $400 light gun, but it's going to be the light gun and the only light gun you're probably ever going to own too if you purchase one of those. So if you're going to spend the money, I say go for Gun for IR, and that game comes on all of my external drives and light gun arcades. Go ahead, hit the play button.
All right.
Hey, Arcade Pirates here. Clark! Big fan of his.
All right. So I'm just going to skip into some gameplay. Oh, it's got. Can you hear that?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Well, I'm going to mute it just in case. So it starts out with all this shit.
I've never seen this before.
Okay, so check it out.
Oh, I love it. It's got like a booger man feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is my kind of. I love side scroller beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
You know what? Game. You're building that MAME thing. Make sure you got a game on there called it's called B Rat Boys. The letter B period Rat Boys. Make sure you got a game on there called that.
All right. Got it.
That's one of my favorite arcade beat 'em ups. If anybody in the chat, if you never played a game called B Rat Boys and you have an arcade system, go check it out. If you have the Nintendo Retro Lizard, it's on there already. Go check that game out. It is my favorite beat 'em up game. It's just mindless 45 minutes of finger banging the fucking arcade sticks and buttons. That's it. You're finger banging hard, man.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah, get in there. Get in there.
Get in there. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, coming up on an hour and a half here, man. You want to call it a night until next week?
We can do that.
We can do that. I got really nothing else to say, and I want to get this fucking Steam Deck working over here. It's really annoying me. Yeah, don't be surprised if I go live in 20 minutes and I start hitting off sound effects.
Yeah. I'm going to my dog Chewy has really been into Stargate Atlantis lately, so me and Chewy are probably going to go watch Stargate Atlantis.
All right, man.
He likes sci-fi. I don't know what it is.
Well, It's your
Yeah.
dog, man.
Yeah, he's like, Dad, let's watch Stargate Atlantis, and I'm like, okay, buddy, let's
There
do
you
that.
go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Until next week's stream, and hopefully we have sound effects by then too.
We'll see what happens.
Exactly. Take it. Have a good night, everybody.